Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line, the most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs, and breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots, and all must win. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Visit WashableSofas.com and discover Anabay, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices, with sofas starting at $699. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slides right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today with no-risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mr. Mo Kelly here with Mr. Nick Poliokini as we find out what the hell he's been up to. Nick, what have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot. In fact, as I got to jump in and be the disembodied voice last segment, if you want to learn more about the Poltergeist House, you can always check out the podcast when it gets posted for Later with Mo Kelly, or you can go to link in bio at This Week of Nick or Nick Poliokini. I've got all the details of how you can go and live out your poltergeist dreams or nightmares. I know that you don't want to.
No, sir.
I'm just saying, I've got options for you. So, but checking out what's been going on for me, and I kind of teased it a little bit last week, but Summerween is in full effect. And the question that a lot of people ask is, okay, this is a ridiculous term. I don't understand, but why are Halloween things coming out right after the 4th of July? Well, actually, you have one of my favorite companies, the Walt Disney Company, to thank for that. Back in 2012 on Disney Channel, Gravity Falls, which is a really entertaining animated series, had a fictional holiday that was known as Summerween, and it took place on June 22nd, the second to last Friday of June, usually somewhere in that ballpark. And even though that is something that was not heavily focused on, it is something that more and more people have kind of glommed onto over the years. And so this year especially, and you can see I am wearing my Midsummer Scream attire, and I have already got my spooky, if you're following us on Mr. Mo Kelly on YouTube, or if you're with us on Facebook, or if you're on Instagram, you can see I got my scared Mickey hat on. A lot of things actually kicking off this weekend. So Midsummer Scream is an event that I talk about every year, and it's amazing. It's in Long Beach, but it really, for a good number of years, almost 15 years, was the start of the Halloween season in the Southland, because it's Halloween Horror and Haunt. And it takes place at the convention center. You can still get tickets, and you can get all the details about it on social media. This week I'm a Nick or Nick Poliokini. But it is one of those things where you get a lot of previews. Now, this year's been really different and interesting. And I only say that because more and more conventions are happening around the country that are covering all these details. So used to be John Murdy, who's the creative director with Universal Studios Hollywood, would always tease all the mazes and the haunts and the scare zones that were coming to Universal Studios. Well, if you follow him on social media or you follow Universal Studios, you can see that they pretty much have announced everything, including Blumhouse's 15th anniversary, celebrating that with a special edition Terror Tram, and all of the different mazes have been released for Universal Studios. But Midsummer Scream used to be the kickoff for at least the Southland of everything Halloween based. Pretty much anything that goes bump in the night would start out here. And it used to be smack dab in the middle of July. It's kind of moved around here and there. But Summerween this year, if you go to Michael's, if you go to any of the craft stores, Hobby Lobby, even to a certain extent, you're already seeing the Halloween stuff out. And Michael's has had a really unique series of things available for you because it's all been Halloween based. And even back to the Gravity Falls reference, obviously pumpkins aren't in season during the summer. So it was watermelons and pineapples and larger, melons and fruits that were carved to be the jack-o'-lanterns. But for Midsummer Scream, you can head down to the convention center in Long Beach. Tickets are still available for Friday, which is great. It's right after work. Head on down. So much fun happening for that. 6 until 10 p.m. And then on Sunday, you can also check it out. That's open. There are VIP tickets still available for the entire weekend. The weekend passes have sold out. They're very, very popular. And you can check out so much. So some of the things that will be happening are live podcasts that have to do around maybe poltergeist or something fun about people that are haunting and doing things in that effect. But also you'll be able to see what's coming to Not Scary Farm. You'll be able to see Fright Fest at Six Flags Magic Mountain. All the different things that are happening, but also even cooler is home haunt. So if you follow me on social media, you've seen how I deck my house out for the holiday season, both Halloween and Christmas, lots of inflatables, lots of decorations. But this gives you that opportunity to really get out there and kind of immerse yourself a little bit early. Plus what they do have is Hall of Shadows, which is about 2 acres worth of mini haunts. So a lot of them are either presented. Lionsgate will be there and having horror from Lionsgate films, represented the second year that they've done this. Also, you'll have a lot of the local home haunts that will have small representations of what you can expect come September and October when the Halloween season does go into full effect. Now, not just this weekend is there Midsummer Scream happening in Long Beach, but it is incredible to think that Halloween time as of not this Friday, but next Friday will officially be descending on the Disneyland Resort. Now, I will be getting a special preview early because I will be attending the very first night of Oogie Boogie Bash, which is the special after hours Disneyland After Dark event that happens a good number of nights starting really early this year, the 17th Sunday of August, and then going all the way straight on through until the 31st of October. So all the way through Halloween. And this is where you get to experience things from maybe a more so villain's perspective from the Walt Disney Company. So Oogie Boogie, if you're not familiar, from Nightmare Before Christmas, he is the leader of the pack, and he really takes over Disney California Adventure Park at the Disneyland Resort. But you'll be able to meet so many villains from so many different films. This year, there'll be 2 brand new villains that will be joining the lineup. It looks like it might be somebody from The Incredibles and from Pixar, which is kind of cool. And also, you'll have a lot of returning folks. You'll have people from Agatha was there, and she will be back representing from Agatha All Along from Marvel. They've had Zombie Cap from Marvel back in the day. The only thing that we don't have, which is a little surprising to me, now granted, Disney California Adventure Park does not have a lot of Star Wars representation, but I am really surprised that we haven't gotten like Darth Maul or any of the villains, even just Darth Vader, obviously. But you can always visit them across the Esplanade over at Disneyland Park back on Galaxy's Edge. You can go off planet and check that out. So this weekend has a lot going on. Even if you're looking for, and I always try to focus on free 99 things for us, Downtown Disney is going to be the closest option for you there, because you'll be able to enjoy, as of not this Friday, but the following Friday, Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort, which includes live music, special installs. Right now, you can get ready for Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit, which is where you'll be able to take and find a scavenger hunt of different pumpkins that have been carved of Disney characters or painted of Disney characters throughout the downtown area. So you don't even need admission to go to the park. Sure, it's $10 for parking, but anymore, that seems to be kind of basic and we're used to it. But it's one of those opportunities because things really start changing and there's a different magic in the air. It is hot as Hades, as we are well aware, especially as we continue into and through August and September, getting into October. But it's really nice to have everything here and be beginning that whole experience, because the next, I don't know, What's Up with Nick's are going to be filled with all sorts of things involving Halloween. Dark Harbor's returning to the Queen Mary in Long Beach. We will also have, again, Fright Fest at Six Flags. But I'll also be heading up to Las Vegas, and I'll be experiencing, which is opening this Thursday, is going to be Universal Horror Unleashed. And that is a brand new year-round event that happens at Area 15 across from Las Vegas Strip. So it's a lot going on. And I think, as we talked about with Poltergeist being, the house being redone, there's this nostalgic element, and there's something with the world's scary enough as it is, if you will. So being able to lean into something a little bit more supernatural and maybe a little bit more fanciful seems to kind of be where we're at right now.
Sounds like fun.
I want you to go.
I'm not going.
The worst part is will you do anything scary, or just not the actual genuine things? Like
I'm not going to a house that is going to scare the bejesus out of me.
I won't take you to 17th Door in Orange County, which is one of those things where you have to sign your life away to go through the experience. But have you ever done Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights?
Nope.
Would you do?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
No, sir.
All right. Looks like I'm stuck with you, Mark.
No. I tell people I don't even watch horror movies anymore.
Right.
The present iteration of horror movies, which is different from Poltergeist, what it was in 1982. Now it's like jump scares and things that just I don't need that on my heart.
You just watched Weapons. What are you talking about?
That's not jump scares. It really isn't.
Okay.
You've seen the movie, Mark. It's not jump scares.
It's a horror film.
It's not horror like Megan or something like that with gore and everything. It's not.
Okay.
So you're looking for the psychological thrillers more.
Yes.
Where you're No, I understand that. And for me, we were talking off air and in the hallway. Sorry, it wasn't on for everybody, but talking about Poltergeist and both The Exorcist. There's so much mental around. And there was, in fact, what I do have a giveaway that I'm going to tease. And you have to stick around all the way through to the end of What's Up with Nick. Free-ish. Hey, it's good. But I've got something, and I'll talk about that a little bit more, that definitely leans into the nostalgic angle that we're talking about, and some films that, I think everybody here has seen. Even Tawala, we were talking about not his favorite necessarily, again, horror films, but so there's a good friend of the show, a good organization friend of the show, has something special that's coming up for 7 weeks in a row, and we've got a giveaway to share with that. So be sure to stick around.
More with Nick Poliokini in just a moment. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere.
The reviews and ratings are in, and Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line, the stars will be flocking to Los Angeles to witness the most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win over Houston to make the playoffs, reeling from last week's savage beating at the hands of Chicago's possessed Montrezl Harrell. Last time these teams met, Miami beat Houston, but they are a dangerous team having their manhood at stake. Then breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. Will LA avenge their previous shocking loss to perennial basketball Boston rivals to survive? 6 teams are allowed for 4 spots, and all must win. Don't miss the Big 3, the 3-on-3 basketball league everyone is talking about. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, followed by 2 games on Vice starting at 6:30 Eastern, presented by iHeart.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Visit WashableSofas.com and discover Anabay, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices, with sofas starting at $699. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slides right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today with no-risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Heart Radio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
What's up with Nick is on to 10, so what he do? What's up with Nick is on with free 99.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly. I'm Nick Poliokini, part 2 of What's Up with Nick, going down for you in the Southland. We already talked about Summerween and Halloween things underway, but let's go into a little bit more of maybe a bit softer for you. And this is something we've been talking about a couple of weeks here, so I'm going to go a little bit deeper dive because I actually did get out to the Orange County Fair, and it is the final weekend, meaning that starting tomorrow, Wednesday through Sunday, will be the wrap up for this year's edition of the Orange County Fair. Find Your Happy. It started back in July and runs all the way through the 17th. But this is one of those things that it's in Costa Mesa, which if you are familiar with that, heading down the 405, let me be a traffic reporter briefly with you. 405 at the 55, heading south on the 55 toward Newport Beach, coming out of the Santa Ana area, not too far from South Coast Plaza, which is one of the places that we talked about earlier here on Later with Mo Kelly. But the OC Fair, while it is just a massive parking lot, truly, that is in the middle of Costa Mesa, what they've done is really make something special. And they do the same at the LA County Fair over in Pomona, and they've also done the same down at the Del Mar Fairgrounds in San Diego. But specifically for the OC Fair, I went to one of the more unique exhibits that was there that was dedicated to what used to be the Santa Ana Army Air Base. And that is Heroes Hall that you can go visit. Now, this is something here on KFI. We always focus on veterans, and it was really unique to be able to see a spot. In fact, even more so if you're into baseball, Joe DiMaggio was stationed here in Southern California during World War II. And that was something I had no idea about. But so Heroes Hall is something that is available year round. It's just outside of the Pacific Amphitheater, which is the outdoor music venue and kind of entertainment venue that you can enjoy there. But it also has lots of air conditioning, great bathrooms, but you get to learn about exactly how this area, the OC Fairgrounds, used to be this specific spot where the air base used to be. In fact, just north of where you see the fairgrounds now is where the actual airstrip was. And so it's interesting to think that in the middle of Orange County, we have such a historical connection with World War I, World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. All of those have had certain tie-ins to Orange County. But the OC Fair is pretty much our local. I mean, even the Ventura Fair just wrapped up past weekend. This is the end for us here in Orange County. They have so much going on, and it's really fun. I took my cousins, some of the cousins were in from Pennsylvania, so that was kind of fun to be able to show them around. But going to the Orange County Fair, because of the ocean breezes coming in from Newport, it's really nice, even though it is hot. It's hot. But you've got $5 taste of the fair before 4 o'clock any day, Monday through Sunday. Wednesday through Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, the fair is closed. Wednesday through Sunday is when you'll be able to visit. But it's cool to go into some of the pavilions that have competitions. So Mondo, who used to be here with KFI with his famous guacamole, he has competed at the Orange County Fair. He's done the LA County Fair, Orange County Fair, San Diego County Fair, and a couple other competitions. But it's so cool to go and see exactly what people are doing in our own backyard and really being able to connect with that. So I encourage you, if you're looking for something to wrap up your summer experience before the kids go back, or maybe even if the kids are back and you want that one little break before things get a little too crazy, OC Fair is a great opportunity for that. If you're looking for a date night, you may want to head over into Long Beach, because the Museum of Latin American Art on Wednesdays has been doing a dance class. So that is something that you can go and check out, not just the museum itself, but you can also check out a really fun activity to do in the evening. On Wednesdays, bachata is this week, and then it continues into and through September. I was messaging with Mario in the chat room, the Momigos on YouTube for Later with Mo Kelly, or Mr. Mo Kelly on YouTube. And we were talking about Splash House, which is a unique music festival that's happening this weekend, is weekend 2. And it is in Palm Springs, which seems to be between Coachella and Stagecoach and everything else. But this one actually takes place at 4 different venues, 3 of them being resorts, and specifically at the pool. So even though it is real hot in the Palm Springs area, you've got a way to cool off, not just the beats, but also hop in the pool. And then, as I teased before, something really fun for me, as we've kind of already talked about horror films here, A Nightmare on Elm Street. All 7 films in the collection have been re-released in 4K, and our friends at the Alamo Draft House in downtown LA have offered us 2 sets of tickets for you to either be able to check this out or any other show that is going on down there. The thing that's exciting about this, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, is if you're a fan of horror films, if you want to get that summer ween in effect, Nightmare on Elm Street, you'll be able to starting on August 29th, so the last Wednesday of the month, and for the 7 subsequent Wednesdays, you'll actually be able to head to the Alamo Drafthouse in downtown LA and experience the full 4K representation, I should say, of Nightmare on Elm Street. So you've got all 7 films in it. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm really excited to bring you guys so much more. So
Don't you have something to give away?
Oh yeah, 2 tickets, 2 sets of tickets.
You ready to give them away?
Oh yeah, well let's give them away. All right, so let's take callers 5 and 6. I know what I'm doing.
I was just waiting for you to.
No, I got it. All right, so there's that, and I'll catch you next week.
Caller 5 and 6, and you will win
2 tickets each. So each 5, caller 5, caller 6, you'll get 2 tickets to go check out either this or anything else at Alamo Drafthouse in downtown LA.
Caller 5, caller 6, you and a guest, Alamo Drafthouse, 2 tickets.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. And what's happening wasn't one of the biggest sitcoms of the late 1970s, but it was pretty damn popular. And Danielle Spencer, who played Dee Thomas, the smart-ass kid who was basically smarter than everyone around her in a character sense, her comebacks, her clapback game was legendary back then. She passed away today at the age of 60 years old. But what's more important, I think, is to highlight what happened in her real life. She passed away at the age of 60 due to cancer. They didn't specify as far as what type of cancer. But if you knew anything about her life, she endured a lot of tragedy, and there was some triumph along the way. Back in 1977, she survived a car crash that killed her stepfather, yet left her in a coma for 3 weeks. She went on later to earn a veterinary medicine degree from Tuskegee in 1993. So when I refer to her as Dr. Danielle Spencer, that's why. She was someone who was one of those child actors of the late 1970s who managed to escape personal tragedy in the way that a lot of her peers were unable. If you think about the sitcoms of the 1970s, from Gary Coleman to Todd Bridges and others who were not as lucky kind of surviving that cycle of child stars, having all sorts of bad press, as it were. Danielle Spencer didn't have that, and she walked away from television and Hollywood to a large degree, and her last acting role was in 2001 on an episode of Days of Our Lives. But she was a very successful veterinarian, and she lived her life largely out of the spotlight. Now, if you were familiar with her and her history as a child star, yes, she was well known in that regard. Yes, she was recognizable. She did not run away from her character of Dee, but at the same time, she didn't feel obligated to relive that part of her life or keep chasing after that part of her life. And just in case you may not remember Dee, here is some Dee.
Well, how'd you make out, little Miss Rockefeller? Hey, looks like a pretty good haul.
Yeah, not as good as Christmas, but better than Halloween.
Oh, I just love this.
Oh, that's from Raj.
Yeah, he knows then of you. Hey, I hope you like my gift.
Oh, this diary is great. You want to hear what I've written so far?
No. You're not supposed to tell anybody what you write in your diary. Let's just take a peek. Today, I celebrate my 14th birthday. That's pretty good. My heart raced with fiery passion as Ricardo pressed his hungry mouth to mine. two strong arms crushed the breath from my body. As Ricardo held me closer, closer, and closer. D, who's Ricardo?
Nobody. But 30 years from now, who wants to read Today I Shook Hands with Rerun?
So what else did you get?
Well, there's this thing I got from Little Earl.
Yeah. What is that?
I think it's a necklace.
No, it looks like a flea collar for Godzilla.
I know. But Little Earl's such a nice little kid, and I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah, so what you gonna do?
The decent thing. Tomorrow I'm gonna take it back and get the money.
Dr. Danielle Spencer gone at the age of 60 years old. It's later with Bo Kelly. When we come back, we'll check in with George Norrie and find out what's going on with Coast to Coast AM and all.
The reviews and ratings are in, and Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line, the stars will be flocking to Los Angeles to witness the most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win over Houston to make the playoffs, reeling from last week's savage beating at the hands of Chicago's possessed Montrezl Harrell. Last time these teams met, Miami beat Houston, but they are a dangerous team having their manhood at stake. Then breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. Will LA avenge their previous shocking loss to perennial basketball Boston rivals to survive? 6 teams are allowed for 4 spots, and all must win. Don't miss the Big 3, the 3-on-3 basketball league everyone is talking about. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, followed by 2 games on Vice starting at 6:30 Eastern, presented by iHeart.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699. Our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out. So you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. They're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Also, I'll have my final thought.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We are live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Coming up in just a few moments will be Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. George, how you doing, sir?
Great, Mo. Fascinating program tonight. Coming up on the 48th anniversary of the death of Elvis Presley. We're going to talk about that. And then later on in the show, Ancient Mysteries. 48 years.
I remember the original news reports. I was a kid, but I remember it because, and if you're not old enough to remember, there are a few moments in which a story just takes over all news, especially back then. And that was just one of the stories that just shocked everyone.
It was huge. 42 years old. Sad. But we'll have it all tonight on Coast to Coast.
I'll definitely be listening in.
Okay, buddy.
Talk soon. And before we get out of here, and I do remember, because, it was 1977, and when the news came across, because I'm in a musical family, I remember Elvis Presley in that regard, and the news that he passed away at 42, and to think that I've lived 13 years longer than Elvis, because I thought back then 42 was old. It was old. Now it's a distant memory. But yeah, that was a tremendous piece of news back then. So I definitely want to tune in and listen to George talk about it. Here's my final thought tonight. It's not that long, but I may hit some things twice. If you didn't know, there are some published reports. Mark, I don't know if you've even seen this. You should be on the lookout for it. There's some published reports tonight that convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell has reportedly been cleared to leave prison on work release.
Yeah, I saw that.
You heard that right. Cleared to leave prison on work release. This is after being granted a sweetheart prison reassignment to some minimum security federal facility. Can we just be honest here? Why don't we skip to the end and give Ghislaine Maxwell her pardon? Because that's where all of this is headed. But did you know that by law, Maxwell is not eligible for minimum security detention because of the nature of her conviction? You can't be a convicted sex trafficker in the way that Maxwell is and get minimum security. Yet here we are. She's not eligible for work release either. And yet, say it with me, here we are. I get how everybody wants the truth to come out regarding Jeffrey Epstein. Well, maybe not everybody, but most bodies, like me, I'm one of these people. But I don't get how Congress passes out subpoenas regarding Jeffrey Epstein when there's already an adjudicated case to go by. Victims have testified in regard to Ghislaine Maxwell, who was later convicted. There's really nothing to investigate per se. Everyone's pretty much on record. And I don't get how Congress wants to speak to Bill and Hillary Clinton more so than any of the victims of Maxwell or Maxwell herself. And don't get me wrong, Bill Clinton definitely can and should offer up testimony. Okay, let's be clear on this. But so can Donald Trump. I mean, you don't get to be one of Epstein's former best friends for years and not be on the list at least to offer a few words. You know, where'd you go? Where'd you hang out? Did you see anything? Did you know? You know, former best friends. That's what you're supposed to do. Instead, we get the Ghislaine Maxwell gift-giving season. After meeting privately with Trump's former personal attorney, now DOJ deputy, as they say, it doesn't pass the smell test. Can we tell the truth? But sure, let's deflect with federalizing Washington, D.C. instead. Let's have the FBI and the National Park Service and the National Guard help patrol the streets of the nation's capital. I'm not exaggerating. That is actually happening because supposedly D.C. crime is so out of control. Or let me offer this as an alternative. It's not. It's the lowest it's been in 30 years. 30 years. This is not arguable. In fact, I was in D.C. 30 years ago. I know something about this. D.C. isn't even in the top 10 as far as worst crime-ridden cities. You don't have to take my word for it. It's inarguable. I visit Washington, D.C. every year without fail. I talk about D.C. constantly on this show. I know D.C. I went to college in D.C. My sister went to college in D.C. Both my parents went to college in D.C. I still have relatives who live in D.C. I still have friends that I went to college with in D.C. I know Washington, District of Columbia. I was there during the crack epidemic when kids were killing each other over sneakers. That really was happening while I was in D.C. I know what D.C. was like when it was at its worst. I was there, a junior in college, when then Mayor Marion Barry was caught in an FBI sting smoking crack on video. I was there when Washington, D.C. was the murder capital as well as the nation's capital. Washington, D.C. today is nothing approaching what it was then. Not even close. But when everything is about politics, nothing matters. I must say it's rather strange that the president managed to call in the National Guard for the purpose of protecting Washington, D.C. on Monday, but somehow couldn't do it on January 6th. I'm just putting that out there because I thought it was Nancy Pelosi. Never mind. I'm here to tell you the Speaker of the House did not then and will not have any role in summoning the National Guard. That was proven once again on Monday. The big picture is that calling in the National Guard to do nothing here in LA was just a testing ground. Now, the Guard has been called in to do nothing in Washington, D.C., which is geographically the size of Irvine, about 67 square miles. That's it. That's Irvine. Presently, the FBI, the National Park Service, the Secret Service, the Metro Police, the Capitol Police, and the National Guard are all presently patrolling the 68 square miles of what equates to Irvine, California. Have you ever wondered why there's no crime per se in North Korea, or at least to the best of our knowledge, there's no crime? Because it's an authoritarian police state. Have you ever wondered why there is no terrorism in North Korea? Same reason. What's not often discussed is how freedom and a police state don't really work well together. What is going to happen in D.C. is textbook police state. If you don't live in D.C., it won't matter to you. You get to sit at home and point at the TV and say, yes, that's what I voted for. I want less crime in America. I want our nation's capital to not deal with so much crime. The details just don't matter to you. If you aren't familiar with D.C., it won't resonate with you because it's about politics. It's not about people. I'm not against being tough on crime. I am, though, very much against performative law enforcement. It's not sustainable and likely won't be impactful long term. Something else people may not consider. When you marshal all these federal resources for just Washington, D.C., they are not being utilized in their intended capacity. It plays well on TV. I get the why, but when you start pulling FBI agents and National Park Service agents and Secret Service and Department of Treasury agents from their intended duties, then other things fall apart. Other things are left vulnerable. But let's not kid ourselves about how dangerous D.C. is in 2025 or how federalizing D.C. law enforcement is either necessary or warranted, because it's neither. This is theater. It's a traveling show which will leave D.C. after 2 weeks or so and then on to Chicago or some other democratically led urban center for the next performance. I know D.C. This is not necessary. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs. And breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots and all must win. There's no crying in the Big 3. And the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699. Our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out. So you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. They're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.